Good morning. It is the day of valor of the year 2025, and it's early in the morning, more than an hour before the sun shines on this beautiful Tuesday morning. And I thought, I'd find it the right time for for me to show you this little website I just made. Just look at it for a couple seconds. And then let me explain to you how I made this pretty simple little website using some handy dandy tools and some little bit of internet magic. So if you're pretty much excited as I am to show it to you, let's get right into it. So, what you're looking at right now is the homepage of this website. I call it All About AI, and I just thought, what could be a really good way to make an explainer web page for everyone to appreciate the beauty of artificial intelligence in the most aesthetically pleasing way possible. Let's set aside normal design conventions and make it a little differently simpler, huh? You like that? Well, to start off, let me show you my code editor here, okay? This one. So this is the homepage. This is the index.html, the homepage of our All About AI website right here. And you can just run through it real quick, and then we'll deep dive into how it all works. Okay. Well, actually, I started designing this website using a nifty tool called PowerPoint, the thing you use to put slides to show on projectors and televisions and all that large screen display devices like LEDs and all that stuff. But I thought it would also be useful to as a pretty cool tool to prototype our web pages. Look at all these shapes. Oh, this text and the shape for our header bar, and a beautifully crafted website logo, as well as the buttons. They're really big. Any screen size will fit into that. On a principle we'd call responsive web design, which I can just show it to you. Yeah, it's a work in progress. Life is a work in progress, right? And this one, yeah, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, but I just thought I'd show it to you guys because it's cool. But for the rest, we'll have to see it in its full screen glory, okay? So we designed it. We designed the web page using PowerPoint, added the icons. Icons has SVG graphics. And talking about SVGs, I did a little nifty trick. I exported each slide as an SVG. Okay, if I hit F12 on my right here within PowerPoint, give it a second there. There's this option to save it as an SVG file like that, and then I can show you how I did it. Yeah. Something like this sourced, and yeah, and this is one of the web host directories of that website I did. It's available on 2 domains right now. I can also show it to you. Well, before I show you how I export it, okay, I'll just call it test.svg already. Like that. And am I hit? Bro, what just happened? Okay, give it. Oh, yeah, there we go. Then hit J. Later on, I'll show you how I copied the elements within that SVG file into the HTML code. It's pretty straightforward once you get to go through all the hoops of the path tags and the image files encoded in base 64. But we'll get back to that in a few minutes. Now I want to show it to you where that website is available. It's available on this URL, link in the description. As well, it's also available in another subdomain, if you will. Come on, show it to you. Here we go. Here as well. It's accessible anytime, as long as we're doing this thing. Okay. Now I'm gonna show it to you how I can copy that copy some parts of that SVG file into Visual Studio Code, which we use as our code editor. So let me just open up Notepad++. There you go. Give it a couple seconds to open up. Okay. And then I'm gonna go ahead and look for that file. Give me a second here. Okay. Give me a second here. We'll just look for that file. I'll just look for the file, okay? Well, I'm showing everything to you. I mean, almost everything, or some of it. Just make sure we're doing it the right way. Well, if you see this garbled thing, all that, that's actually the logo, of the website. It's encoded in base 64, a PNG format graphic. But what we're gonna look in here is some of the code that I can copy and paste. This one, this portion right here, we would have already exported as its own PNG file, as you can see here, which is this one. But just to show you how I can copy and paste the code, let's say this. Rectangle. Let me find the rectangle tag here. Okay. Something like, okay, I'll take this rectangle tag as an example. You'll notice the width is set to 1280 with the height of 76. That's the important thing here, as well as the fill color. And if we take a look at how it looks on our index.html, it looks a little bit simpler because we've already referenced that PNG graphic in its own file rather than being interspersed here in the HTML, which kind of makes some clutter things there. And I already set the width of the SVG into 100% to fill the entire viewport of your web page. Although it originally was 1280 times 720 HD quality. And notice the rectangle with the height 76 with the same fill color as this one, that one right there. And this is how it looks like, and this is what it looks like, the header bar. So this, as well as the rectangle for all these. For the rectangle, the path, this, if this portion here of the icon is a SVG path within that HTML file, it would be encoded in lots of numbers and all that path tags, but we save it as its own SVG file as with the rest of the icons and the button colors here. And for the text, we did do some number crunching on the responsiveness of our text. So this is the text, this the button colors, and these are the icons on our CSS, the CSS to your HTML. And then we can take a quick look on every other file on this web application as well. Starting with this JavaScript code here that makes the references the service worker, so that our website can function as a progressive web application like this one, so that if you try to go to, for instance here, you can install it as a progressive web application and add it to your home screen like so. Give us a couple seconds to okay. I want to show it to you how it's installed as a progressive web application. Don't mind that, but yeah, there we go. That's what we're talking about. Anyway, let's take a quick look further on the rest of our code. This is the service worker that was referenced on that other JavaScript file, as well as some manifests, which is also referenced on. Wait. Okay, we'll just find where this reference. Well, as long as we know that it's. Oh, there it goes. There. Okay, manifest file for our, so that it'll be recognized as a web application, and the service worker, like that, as well as CSS. CSS files for our style sheets, like so. This one and that one. We will also take a quick look on the code of the rest of the pages here on our website, our web project, and then we can try to explain what's going on in all of them. Like this one, the okay, just let the code speak for itself. I don't need to say anything verbally. You get the idea, right? But we will go through each page one by one as we go through our demo. Pretty simple, yet cool demo of our website, right? Oh, good morning. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, and time now for some web application fun here. Okay. That's the code. I'm gonna spill all the tea here. Yeah. Apps and tools. 3 pages. 3 pages. Yeah. Cool stuff. You already know. And to make AI work for you. Yeah. All that cool stuff. Okay, now would be the right time to demo the web application itself in its golden glory. So what you're seeing right now is the homepage of the web application itself. If I click what is AI, like so, it explains what AI is to the best, in the best way possible that anyone can understand. Now we can click here to go back home, like so, and then it'll show a photo gallery of about the history of AI, explaining it in simple detail, like the Turing test and the Dartmouth proposal, the first AI winner, the expert systems, and the desktop and internet revolution, as well as the mobile revolution with Siri, as well as AI boom of today that started in mid to late 2010s and is ongoing as we speak. ChatGPT, cool stuff. Generative AI, I love that. Ooh, DeepSeek, interesting stuff. Spill the tea, bro. Okay, let's go back to our homepage and move on to our next pages. Tools and apps. Yeah, the star of our show. ChatGPT first on the list. You already know. Copilot. I like that. That's my daily driver, one of my favorites. Meta AI. It was kind of a trend recently. And Gemini, another one. And DeepSeek. That another other one. Image generators. DALL-E 3, Stable Diffusion, and Midjourney. Lots and lots more cool AI stuff. As well as the back end powering all these. The GPT family of large language models from OpenAI. Being used by OpenAI themselves using data centers of Microsoft, from which Microsoft themselves was able to implement their own cool stuff. So we've got ChatGPT for OpenAI, as well as Microsoft Copilot, using the GPT large language model families. And Meta AI with their Llama Meta AI large language model Meta AI. Cool stuff. Also, Google DeepMind also has their own large language model backend for their Gemini chatbot. The large language model is called Palm 2. Cool stuff. And then, finally, the Make AI work for you. It's just giving us some pretty simple guidelines how AI can help us achieve our goals. It may look like something written off of ChatGPT, but you get the idea. Yeah, that's about it. Let's take a quick look of each page before I explain a few more things before we call it. That one, cool stuff. I love that. So that's basically it. Now I can also show you one more thing here. Oh, okay, cool stuff. Well, I'm also able to use the Git version control, like what we've discussed on our lessons here, and I was able to upload it on a private GitHub repository. And then I was able to use that GitHub repository to statically host this web application, which is available on this subdomain. If I click it here and then I open it as an app, that's all about AR for you, my friend. And I'll also explain a few other things that I cannot show here to you, like the domain name server that we used, as well as the domain registrar. We just put them all together, and finally we have this internet and web magic. Cool stuff. So I hope you did enjoy that deep dive on how we made our website. Until then, thank you for watching.